Local leaders and activists are calling for the feds to step in following the death of a 5-year-old migrant child.
Multiple old men, state representatives, and other community leaders say no death is acceptable. CBS 2's Marissa Perlman is live outside the federal building, breaking down their message. Good morning to you, Marissa.
Yeah, good morning to you both. Yeah, this message is something that's not new. The press conference still going on right now. But again, there are calls for funding from the federal government to help with very expensive health care costs and housing here in the city of Chicago to make sure that something like this loss of this 5-year-old boy, doesn't happen again. Again, that 5-year-old boy, John Carlos Martinez Rivero, died on Monday. His cause of death is still under investigation. The case has advocates calling for transparency and protocols inside the shelters here in Chicago. In the meantime, the city is now confirming Texas is using private planes to send migrants to Chicago. This video from Governor Greg Abbott's office showing a plane chartered by the Texas Department of Emergency Management leaving El Paso yesterday. It carried around 100 migrants and arrived at O'Hare last night. Leaders say the move is human trafficking, a human rights violation, and Chicago needs to continue to provide a humanitarian response.
People don't migrate all the way to the United States just to die 3 weeks later, like Jane Carlos Martinez Rivero. So his death should not be in vain.
We see it in plain sight. It's blatant. And to see our federal government stand idle while children die, this is something that unfortunately we're getting too used to.
Governor Abbott issuing a statement about the flight that reads in part, Mayor Johnson is failing to live up to his city's welcoming city ordinance by targeting migrant buses from Texas. We are expanding our operation to include flights to Chicago like the Biden administration has been doing across the country. And then this from our CBS station in Dallas, reporting that the migrants who arrived here by plane to O'Hare last night signed consent waivers and agreed to come here to Chicago. We know more than 14,000 migrants are in the city. 10,000 of them have been placed in semi-permanent housing. It's something that the city says they have a goal to do with all of the 14,000 migrants still waiting on housing. We're live outside of the federal building. Marissa Perlman, CBS 2 News.